Welcome back to the channel. If you're watching this on January 14th, the moon trine Neptune is activating your intuition in a powerful way. And there's one thing you must not do today. If you found this message, it is not random. The universe does not whisper by accident. January 14th carries a soft but extremely powerful energy that many people will completely miss. And that is exactly why it can change everything for those who are aware. Today, the moon forms a trine with Neptune, and this alignment does not shout. It does not demand. It gently opens the door to your intuition, your dreams, and your soul's deeper knowing. But there is one thing you must not do, because if you do it, you will block the message that is trying to reach you. On this day, your intuition becomes louder than logic. Thoughts may slow down, but feelings intensify. You might notice moments where you suddenly know something without evidence. You may feel drawn to certain people, certain memories, or certain places without understanding why. This is not imagination. This is Neptune dissolving the walls of the mind so the moon can illuminate what has always been hidden beneath the surface. The danger on January 14th is forcing clarity. This is not a day to demand answers, rush decisions, or pressure yourself to figure everything out. When the moon harmonizes with Neptune, the universe speaks in symbols, feelings, and subtle signs. If you try to control the process, you silence the message. Many people will sit in confusion today because they keep asking the wrong question. Instead of listening, they push. Instead of feeling, they analyze. And that is exactly what you must not do. You may wake up feeling unusually sensitive. Music may hit deeper. Words may feel heavier. Even silence may feel loud. This is because Neptune amplifies emotional perception. You are not becoming weak. You are becoming open. And openness is dangerous only to those who resist it. If you judge yourself today for feeling too much, you disconnect from the guidance being offered. January 14th is not about action. It is about reception. This is the day your subconscious sends messages through dreams, random memories, repeating numbers, or sudden emotional waves. You might think of someone you haven't spoken to in years. You might feel the urge to rest instead of push forward. You might feel emotional without a clear reason. This is your intuition recalibrating itself. If you ignore these signals and continue operating purely from logic, you override the very energy meant to guide you. One of the biggest mistakes people make during Moon-Neptune alignments is escaping. Overworking, numbing emotions, constant scrolling, distractions, or substances become a way to avoid what the soul is trying to say. Do not do this today. Neptune already blurs reality. Escaping further only creates confusion and emotional fog. Instead of running, slow down. Let yourself feel without labeling the emotion as good or bad. This energy also exposes illusions. Truth may arrive gently, not violently. You may realize that something you were chasing is no longer aligned with who you are becoming. You may sense that a relationship feels off, even if nothing wrong has happened. Trust that feeling. Neptune does not lie, but it does require honesty with yourself. If you deny what you feel today, the lesson will return later, louder and less gentle. For those who are spiritually sensitive, January 14th can bring spiritual downloads. You may feel connected to something higher without needing words. Prayer feels deeper. Meditation feels different. Even moments of daydreaming can carry insight. This is because the veil is thin. But if you fill every moment with noise, you miss the message completely. Do not make permanent decisions today based purely on emotion, but also do not dismiss emotion as meaningless. This is a balance point. Observe, feel, receive. Let intuition speak without forcing it to give you a final answer immediately. What is meant for you will become clearer in the days that follow. If you feel tired today, rest. If you feel emotional, allow it. If you feel confused, stop trying to force clarity. The moon trine Neptune does not operate on deadlines. It operates on inner alignment. The more you trust the process, the more aligned guidance you receive. January 14th is not about doing more. It is about doing less and listening more. The universe is speaking quietly today, and the only real mistake is being too busy, too distracted, or too impatient to hear it. And as this energy continues to unfold, you may notice something very strange happening inside you. Your outer world might seem quieter, slower, or even slightly confusing, but your inner world becomes vivid and alive. Thoughts you buried long ago may rise without warning. Emotions you thought you had healed may gently knock on your awareness, not to hurt you, but to be acknowledged. January 14th is not reopening wounds to punish you. It is reopening doors so you can finally release what no longer belongs in your future. During this moon trine Neptune, time itself can feel different. Minutes may stretch or hours may disappear without you realizing it. This is a sign you are slipping out of purely linear thinking and into intuitive perception. When this happens, do not panic. You are not losing control. You are being invited to trust something deeper than logic. The universe is asking you to stop micromanaging your life and start sensing its rhythm instead. You may feel drawn to solitude today, not because you are lonely, but because your soul needs space to translate what it is receiving. Conversations that feel shallow may suddenly irritate you. Noise may feel overwhelming. This is not arrogance or disconnection. It is sensitivity increasing. Protecting your energy today is not selfish. It is necessary. If you force yourself to socialize or perform when your intuition is asking for quiet, you dilute the message trying to reach you. Pay close attention to your dreams around this time. Neptune governs dreams, symbols, and subconscious communication. Even if a dream seems random or strange, its emotional tone matters more than its storyline. Ask yourself how it made you feel, not what it literally showed you. Your subconscious speaks in metaphor, and January 14th gives those metaphors power. You might also experience sudden compassion for yourself or for others. Old judgments may soften. You may see someone's pain more clearly or finally understand why a certain situation unfolded the way it did. This understanding is not meant to pull you backward. It is meant to free you from resentment, guilt, or confusion you have been carrying silently. However, this is also why discernment is crucial today. Neptune can blur boundaries if you allow it to. Do not absorb other people's emotions as your responsibility. Empathy does not mean self-sacrifice. If you feel drained after certain interactions, that is your intuition warning you. Listen, you are allowed to step back without explanation. This alignment is especially powerful for those who have been asking for signs, clarity, or spiritual confirmation. The answer may not come as a loud breakthrough. It may come as a quiet knowing, a subtle shift, or a deep sense of peace about something you once feared. Trust that. The universe does not always explain itself. It aligns you instead. If you have been trying to manifest something, January 14th reminds you that manifestation does not come from force, it comes from alignment. When your inner state matches the frequency of what you desire, movement happens naturally. Today helps you adjust that inner frequency, but only if you stop interfering with doubt and impatience. You may also notice heightened creativity. Ideas may flow effortlessly. Music, art, writing, or even imagination may feel unusually inspiring. This is Neptune opening the channel between your conscious mind and your higher self. Do not dismiss creative urges today, even if they seem impractical. They carry guidance hidden within them. As the day moves forward, remember this. Not everything needs to be understood immediately. Some truths need to be felt before they can be explained. January 14th is one of those days. The more you surrender control, the clearer your intuition becomes. And if you are feeling emotional without knowing why, take that as confirmation you are exactly where you need to be. This energy is working on levels beyond logic. You are being guided, not tested, supported, not punished. As this energy deepens, you may begin to sense that something inside you is quietly rearranging itself. Not dramatically, not loudly, but in a way that feels final. January 14th carries the kind of transformation that doesn't announce itself until later, when you suddenly realize you are no longer reacting the same way you used to. The moon trine Neptune works behind the scenes, dissolving emotional patterns that kept you stuck without you even realizing they were there. You may notice that certain fears feel weaker today, not gone but softer, less convincing. This is because Neptune exposes illusions, especially the ones created by past pain. What once felt threatening may now feel distant, as if it belongs to an old version of you. This shift is subtle, and that is why it's easy to overlook. But if you pause and observe, you will feel it. A loosening, a release, a quiet sense that you don't need to fight so hard anymore. This is also a day when intuition may contradict your plans. You might have scheduled tasks, goals, or obligations, yet something inside urges you to slow down, change direction, or even cancel. This is not laziness. This is inner alignment. When the moon harmonizes with Neptune, the soul often knows more than the calendar. Ignoring this inner voice today can lead to exhaustion or emotional resistance. Honoring it leads to clarity later. You may also feel more connected to collective emotions. News, stories, or even random conversations may affect you more deeply than usual. This heightened sensitivity is a reminder to choose carefully what you consume. Protect your inner space. Not everything deserves your attention today. What you allow into your awareness can shape your emotional state more powerfully than you realize under this alignment. January 14th is also a powerful day for forgiveness, but only the kind that happens naturally. Do not force yourself to forgive if it doesn't feel real. Instead, notice where your heart has already softened. Notice where anger feels tired rather than intense. That is the sign healing is occurring. Neptune heals by dissolving resistance, not by demanding emotional performance. If you have been feeling disconnected from your spiritual path, this energy can gently realign you. You may feel drawn to prayer, meditation, or simply quiet reflection without a specific method. There is no right or wrong way to connect today. The intention matters more than the ritual. Even a moment of stillness can open profound awareness. Be cautious with promises and agreements today. Not because something bad will happen, but because clarity is still forming. What feels right emotionally may need time before becoming practical reality. Give yourself permission to say, I need time. That in itself is an act of intuition. As night approaches, emotions may intensify briefly. This is normal. The moon often brings things to the surface before they settle. Let feelings move through you without judgment. Cry if you need to. Rest if you need to. Silence can be more healing than answers tonight. Remember, January 14th is not about external success or visible achievement. It is about internal alignment. Something within you is being tuned to a higher frequency. And once that tuning is complete, your outer world will respond in ways you cannot yet see. And as the final hours of January 14th move in, you may begin to understand why this day required such gentleness. The moon trine Neptune does not rush its lessons. It lets them sink into the deepest layers of your being, where real change happens. You may not be able to point to one specific moment where everything shifted, but later you will look back and realize this was the day your inner compass quietly recalibrated. You might notice a growing sense of detachment from things that once controlled your emotions. Situations that used to trigger anxiety or frustration may feel strangely distant. This is not avoidance. This is clarity. Neptune dissolves emotional hooks, allowing you to see life without the fog of old expectations. When this happens, peace replaces urgency. And peace is a sign that alignment is occurring. This energy also strengthens faith, not blind faith, but inner trust. Trust in your timing. Trust in your path. Trust that you do not need to chase what is meant for you. On January 14th, the universe asks you to stop proving and start trusting. When you release the need to force outcomes, you allow intuition to guide you toward what is already aligning behind the scenes. You may also feel a subtle closing of cycles today, not with dramatic endings, but with quiet acceptance. Something you've been waiting on may no longer feel heavy. A question that once demanded an answer may now feel less urgent. This is your soul recognizing that not everything needs resolution in the way the mind demands it. If you experience moments of sadness or nostalgia, allow them. Neptune often brings memories to the surface to remind you how far you've come. These emotions are not pulling you backward. They are confirming your growth. What once overwhelmed you now simply passes through. As this lunar energy fades, intuition does not disappear. It stabilizes. What you felt today becomes the foundation for decisions you will make soon. The clarity you seek may arrive in the next few days, not today. That delay is intentional. January 14th prepares the ground. What follows is built on what you allowed yourself to feel and release. Before you sleep, take a moment to acknowledge yourself. You listened. You slowed down. You allowed awareness instead of resistance. This alone sets you apart from the majority who ignore inner guidance and wonder why life feels heavy. Remember this day when you notice yourself responding differently in the future. When you choose peace over pressure, when you trust your instincts without needing permission. January 14th is not loud, but it is powerful, and its effects will unfold quietly, exactly when you are ready to recognize them. And even after January 14th has technically passed, the imprint of this energy remains. Moon-Neptune alignments don't simply switch off when the date changes. They leave behind a residue in your emotional and intuitive body, like a tuning fork that continues to vibrate long after it has been struck. In the days that follow, you may suddenly understand why certain feelings surfaced, why certain memories returned, and why you were asked to slow down instead of push forward. You may catch yourself responding with more compassion, not just toward others, but toward yourself. Harsh self-judgment may feel unnatural now. The inner voice that once criticized you may soften, replaced by a quieter, wiser presence that simply observes without attacking. This is a direct result of Neptune's influence. It teaches you that healing does not come from punishment, but from understanding. You might also notice that your intuition becomes more reliable. Small decisions feel easier. You hesitate less. You sense when something is off without needing proof. This is because January 14th helped clear emotional static that interfered with your inner guidance. What once felt confusing now feels intuitive, even if the logic hasn't fully caught up yet. There is also a heightened awareness of truth after this alignment. Illusions lose their grip. You may see through false promises, empty words, or situations that once looked appealing but never truly felt right. This awareness is not meant to make you cynical. It is meant to make you discerning. You are learning to trust how something feels, not just how it looks. If you have been waiting for external validation, this energy quietly redirects you inward. You may realize you no longer need approval the way you once did. Something inside you feels settled, as if you finally gave yourself permission to be where you are. That inner permission is powerful. It changes how the world responds to you. This is also why January 14th warned you not to ignore your intuition. What you felt during this time becomes guidance for what comes next. The universe is not asking you to act immediately. It is asking you to remember. Remember what felt true. Remember what drained you. Remember what brought peace instead of pressure. As you move forward, you may find yourself drawn to quieter choices, simpler routines, deeper connections, less noise, more meaning. This is not withdrawal from life. It is alignment with it. Neptune strips away what is unnecessary so your soul can breathe again. And if at any point you doubt yourself, return to how you felt during this energy. That feeling was not random, it was a message. One meant only for those willing to listen. Trust that something important has shifted, even if you can't see it yet. Trust that your intuition is no longer asleep. And trust that what unfolds next is guided by the awareness you allowed yourself to receive on January 14th. The universe did its part. Now simply honor what you felt. That is how this alignment continues to work in your favor.